start for the being the starting lineup now? That's what they've asked him.
No, I'm good in my role.
This is the second game in a row where you played exceptionally well, the benches played exceptionally well. Are you guys starting to get the group back together again, learning each other's little differences you guys have?
Yeah, for sure. I think, to be honest, I think when I'm more aggressive, I think that helps. Because I think by nature, all five of us are unselfish, even though we're scorers, and the ball just kind of hops around. You know, guy get 2 shots, the guy get 2 shots, the guy get 2. And there's no real flow or rhythm. But I think when I'm aggressive, I think that kind of sets the tone. I think that's what we kind of figured out. You know, and it won't always be my night. It may be Austin's, it may be Mo's. Whoever it is that night, the aggressive guy and the guy hasn't going, we need to play off of that guy. And then from there, it creates easier shots for everybody.
Jamal, right here. Someone said that you look like you were back on the playground of Seattle tonight. Did you feel any different coming into this game? You were all over the place.
Yeah, I think it started, to be honest with you, last game in Chicago. And I think I'm at my best whenever I'm just not thinking. I'm just relaxed, I'm just playing, just hooping. It's just basketball, and I've done it my whole life. But I've always said, you know, when you're at your best in the NBA, it feels like you're in high school because you're not thinking, and your true game kind of comes out. And that's how I've been feeling. I'm just going to try to stay in that mindset.
Jamal,
I'm sorry.
was there a particular moment in tonight's game where you sort of felt the heat coming on with your shot, or was it just, would you come in with that, or was there a moment when that sort of changed?
I would say the moment was in the second half. I think the 3 in the corner. That was like, oh, you know, because that was a shot you kind of work on and you make it when nobody's really watching. So that was the shot, and then from there it was like, oh, it's on. And my teammates and coaching staff, you give them credit too, because they saw it and they were like, okay, just go. And then from there, you know, I just tried to go, and our team really got into it, and it was a total team effort. I thought, you know, our bench played well, but I thought Raymond was kind of the MVP. His stats may not show it, but he did an excellent job setting the table and picking the spot. There he is.
Jamal, in the Bill Simmons podcast, Isaiah said you're still the king of Seattle. What does that mean, just come from a player like him and having that respect from your peers?
I think the respect from your peers mean everything. And I think when they say that, I don't think it's just basketball related. I think it's, you know, just all around off the court or whatever. But all those guys, I'm so proud of them. You know, I just try to lend a hand and be a big brother, so to speak. You know, I had that with Gary Payton and Doug Christie. And I felt like it was my duty to kind of repay that. And, you know, now they'll do it for the next generation, and we'll just continue to grow, take care of each other.
Jamal, just more generally speaking, why do you think this team is capable of the extremes like you had in Milwaukee? You know,
Yeah.
Maybe you can throw out if it's once, but and then a night like this, the second half like this, and in Chicago.
I wish I could tell you. You know, I think we've shown, obviously, that we're one of the best teams in the league, and then we've shown on nights where be not as locked in or whatever, there's slippage, you know, so it's a humbling thing, and I think that's the great thing about basketball. You know, in this journey, you're never too high or never too low, and you just continue to try to get better each day. And for us, that's what we're trying to do.
This is about Jamal, though. Is there a moment during the game you can look at him and know, okay, you know, he's got it going? For example, the one time he had the young kid, I think young boy, him, he was telling DJ, get out the way, I got this dude. You know, there are times when you can say, okay, I know he's coming with that now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's times where, you know, when he gets hot, it's just kind of get out the way and let him do his thing. But, you know, I said in my post-game interview, the thing that has separated him is like the plays down the stretch when he did get hot, he started hitting DJ. Now teams can't just load up on him. Now they have to figure out how to play him. But honestly, you know, it's he could miss 5 shots in a row. I told him in the first half he could miss 10 shots straight. And I've seen him hit the next 20. You know, pick up, practice, whatever it is. So there's not really a time where you're just like, you know, you don't think the next shot's going in. You're just kind of waiting for it to happen.
Jamal, you added to your NBA record 50th career 4-point play. How have you perfected that over the years?
Which is funny. That was probably the first one that I didn't see go in. Like, I didn't think that was going in. I shot it, and I felt the contact, and then I heard the crowd, and Blake and those guys were like, that went in. I'm like, really? So, Just, I think, like Blake said, I play a crazy style game. It's not good for analytics or anything, but it works for me. So, so for me, I think I shoot it when the defense isn't really expecting. Like, there's no way shooting it. And by that time they try to react, I'm already in shooting motion, and that's where the contact comes from.
Jamal, Doc said he had a little exchange with you about going 2 for 1 before you hit that, side of the logo 3-pointer. Take us through that. Were you just, did you plan to go up and just take that, or did you see enough room to just pull it? Did you feel hot enough to just take it?
No, we did talk about it. I said if they go quick, I'm going 2 for 1. I saw it and they went quick, and I was like, okay, we have a 2 for 1 opportunity. It was a little deeper, but when you zone out, you don't even see the line. It's just like, okay, I'm in range, let it go, and that was it. Luckily, it went in.
Jamal, I know a lot of people have talked about your hot streaks offensively, but the thing that turned this game around was defense of the second unit, starting with Blake and then DJ with the second unit for the most part. So what changes for your group from the first half to the second half of these games?
Well, Blake, I mean, he's here, but he pulled us aside in the fourth quarter. He's like, look, forget everything, get the stops, and then once we got rolling, and I always say that there's like a top shelf of guys in the league, and this guy's there, and I mean, obviously that guy's there too, but these guys are special, and I think that's what separates these two guys from the rest of the quote unquote superstars. Is they'll do whatever it takes to win. Some nights it'll be defensive things, some nights it'll be offensive things, and that's what they did tonight, and it kind of catapulted us. Thank you,
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, hold on.
No.
Blake become involved. The defense in the second half of the last few games has been pretty exceptional. Are you starting to see that change now that you want to see out of this team on defense?
We've been better, like you said, in the second half we've been better, but it's about putting together for full 4 quarters, 48 minutes, or as close to it as possible. So against really good teams, a bad half gets you beat. Can't win a game in the first quarter or first half, but you can lose one. So I think taking that next step of coming out of the gate, even if we're not hitting shots early, getting stops and making sure we stay in the game that way.
This is for both of you guys. I mean, when Jamal gets going like he did toward the end of the third quarter, hitting shots, what does that do for you guys on an emotional level?
It does everything for us. I think the biggest thing, if you even pay attention to the crowd, you know what I mean? Like the crowd gets into it more for some reason. And our team, I think Jamal's energy is contagious. You could have seen us in Chicago when he got going. You know what I mean? Because we know when he gets going like that, he's probably like the only person that can stop him. So it's good for us.
This is for you as well. When Jamal does get going like that, like he had a couple, they pressured him more, and DJ got a couple, dunks out of that. What does that do for you guys, in terms of floor spacing when he's hitting those shots and is being aggressive?
It's when he's hot, it just forces the whole team, the whole other team to pay attention. But like I said earlier, when he gets hot like that, and then he starts to look for guys, and he's patient and lets those shots come to him. I mean, it's tough to guard because he can shoot at any time. Like he said, he kind of waits and can put up some unorthodox or whatever the word is you want to call it, some shots that nobody else can really hit. But he's still looking for guys, so it just breaks teams.
Chris.
So you guys, both the backcourt, but you specifically hold a guy, Raymond Felton too, but hold a guy who leads the league in the fourth quarter scoring to up until the final couple minutes, just 5 points in the fourth quarter, I think 10 in the fourth quarter. So discuss the difficulty or what the challenge was to guard a guy like Isaiah Thomas and the strategy there, especially in the fourth. You guys kind of clamped him down.
I ain't played that much in the fourth, so that go to Ray. The credit to him, but IT tough, all game long, not just the fourth quarter. Crafty, great shooter, great scorer, get to the free throw line, all that stuff like that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he got more than his average, and for them, you just try to slow him down. Hopefully, he doesn't have too big of a night, and ultimately, you just want to win the game.
Do you feel like you guys have kind of shed whatever it was that was plaguing you those first 5 games after the All-Star break?
I think we're getting better, but we still got a ways to go. you know, just because you win and stuff like that don't mean everything is, you know, solved defensively or anything like that. Obviously, like I always say, it's good to win and figure it out at the same time, but we still got a ways to go.
Jeff, last question here.
Chris, what is it about smaller guys in the league, whether it's Isaiah Thomas or maybe someone like you, that allows you guys to really succeed in a league like the NBA where size is such a huge factor?
It's a ball screen league. You know what I mean? It is. It's a ball screen league, and the NBA, the court is so spaced. And I mean, I say it to the guys, like the college guys that are in my age and all that stuff like that. The NBA is easier than college ever was. If you ask me, the court's more spaced, and it gives guys, you know, smaller guards that are quick and crafty, an opportunity to get into the lane and make plays.
Thanks, guys.
All right.